servants have no reputation to protect. Servants they don't care if you don't make a reference. Let me tell you, God Spirit had to deal with me. I remember years ago in my marriage, when my husband, I would tell my husband something, he would go, and somebody else would tell him. He would not come and meet me and say, sweet, I'm doing this, this person told me. I'm like, but I told you now, how is this person? I'll be so mad, I'll be angry. Something that me and you talked about, you refused to, you didn't agree, but I realized that it's pride. Because at the end of the day, what is my goal is that my husband should get the right wisdom, isn't it? So even if he goes outside and I tell him, and he goes outside and he not hear me, and somebody else mentions it and he now hears it, why not? Why can't I now begin to pray and say, Lord, surround my husband with the right cycle, so that the things he will not hear from me will hear it well outside. So pride-filled opinion always wants to make you always feel right. You want the person to take your point. You want at your own time. Some people fight until it's heard now. It can never be heard. Some men, I must insist. A couple that were counseling, they got married, and 2 months after, the marriage scattered. What happened? This lady, for 20-something years of her life, she was used to a dress sense. She won't wear earring. She will tie her hair even in the night. When she sees cockroach, she binds it. Every cockroach and lizard that she finds in their house is witch, and wizard. It's not her fault. It's the background, the place she was coming from. Her husbands, we go, he'll be like, no, this is my wife. She can't dress well. She can't do this. And he will insist, don't wear this, don't tie this, don't do this. Give her a ring. The girl did not even have a hole in her ear. It was that serious. Now, how do you expect somebody you met 20-something years of your life to instantly change? That's the problem. You want the change to be very fast, to be quick. I will tell people over and over, listen, even if 10 pastors gather on your wedding day to anoint you, exchange, it doesn't. So when you are choosing a person, you're not just choosing a person's strength, you're choosing a person's weakness. So you must choose the weaknesses that are marriageable for you. Not all weaknesses you can marry. Why should you have the mindset so that when you get into marriage, you don't force change? When you know who you decided to choose, nobody forced it. It was not a gunpoint. So why are you forcing change? He insisted and it was so bad. One of the things I've realized that when you begin to insist on what is right, even though it's right, you begin to compare. That's where comparison comes in. So he began to compare his wife with other ladies. He was saying, hey, don't you see that person dresses? But guy, you were in a relationship with this girl for 5-6 months. You saw her dress sense. Even on your wedding day, she didn't wear a ring. Why do you think all of it? So, you think when you exchange vows that day she will change? It doesn't happen like that. When I met my husband, thank God he's not around, so I'm the one on the mic. When I met my husband, when we were friends, the first day when we were hanging out, you know how you know somebody as your friend, then we now transit into a relationship. The ball game is different. Oh. Your eyes are now more open to see more. So when I met him, when we transitioned, our sailing shifted from friendship into sailing, to relationship, then preparing for marriage. The first day was on call. And another was laughing. That's very loud. I'm like, my goodness, surely goodness and mercy shall really follow me. What have I gotten myself into? I'm not like, sweet. We're in a relationship. I'm like, sweet. How many people are you talking to? He says he's talking to his friend. And the embarrassing thing was we're in an eatery, for goodness sake. I sent him a chat. I said, sweet, you are loud. He said, he brought it down, but the down was still loud. Then when I now went to his house, I now knew where it was coming from. When you are getting married to someone, you are getting married to the person's socialization process, the person's background. It doesn't go away. It takes time. You can imagine my husband who is talking with his friend. He's not angry. He's that loud. When he's angry, what becomes of me? Because I came from a family where my mom talks, everybody's calm, this. And then when he's talking, I'm like, sweet, you are shouting. He said, no, I'm not shouting. I'm like, but guy, you are shouting. No, I'm not shouting. That's how I talk. Hey. This for real. This is not our skito. For real. I'm like, sweet, you're saying, no, I'm not sure. That's how I talk. Don't you know by now that that's how I talk? What can I do? 12 years. I now see his loudness as low. Because when you adapt, you no longer see the weaknesses. And when you don't see the weaknesses, the person actually changes gradually. Because acceptance brings patience. So marriage is not a place to stand up for your rights. Number 2, or 1B, under pride-filled opinion, you resist correction. The gang, that's how I am. That's how I am, gang. That's how I am. That's why you don't find who you should marry. That's how I am. That's why your husband gets attracted to you, or your wife gets attracted to you the first 3 years. And then, but from 4th, 5th year, the attraction comes down. Why? Because that's how you are. That's how I am. That's how I am. Gang, that's how I am. That's how I am. They tell you can't apologize. That's how I am. But the day you were giving birth to, there was no placard on your head showing that's how you are. You can't apologize. They even nurse beat you to even cry. So there was no attitude that came with your childbirth. So what am I trying to say? Every attitude you have displayed, you developed it. It didn't come from your mother's womb. You came to the world free. You developed it. Either by your association with your parents, association with friends, association with what you read, association with what you watch. So there is nothing like when they gave birth to you, the day people came, hey, naming ceremony, there was no placard. I'm dedicating this child, or day of the child. I'm dedicating Abiola. Abiola does not apologize. Abiola does not know. Abiola does not like to be taught. Abiola doesn't like correction. There was nothing like that. It was only your name. So every attitude you have ever displayed is by the reason or by who you have associated with or what you have associated with. So when you fail, look at it. Proverbs 12 verse 15, NIV. Proverbs 12 verse 15. The way of fools seems right to them, but the wise listen to advice. So nobody has called you a fool, but you have already displayed foolishness. Proverbs 12 verse 15, NIV. The way of fools, your ways, tells me how foolish you are. Inability to take correction. There are many men that do not receive correction from their wife because it's their wife. It tells me that you are not teachable, and anybody who's not teachable cannot lead effectively. How do you want to teach your partner when you can't be taught? You see some people, before you say one, there was a guy back then. You know, I was like, I said, I don't want to call his name. I'm like, this thing that you're doing is not, you know, I think you should do it like this. I think like this. He said, no. No. Do you know what it is? Do you understand? I will not tell him, you don't see the scripture. Let's do it like that. No. Do you know the revelation I know in scriptures? Insights. And you obviously lack sights. There's a lady that came to meet me. This is not just my case. So he said, there's this guy I want to marry. He's so nice. I associate with a lot of females, right? This guy I want to marry. The guy is so nice and caring. My God, I'm like, wow. I said, yes, I'm just coming back from where you bought me ice cream. Ice cream that sends cool shivers down your spine. And you're not cool with the guy. You don't even know that you haven't cool with him. You know, some people are in a relationship, but the other person is not in a relationship with them. He said, the guy is so caring. So caring. But you know what? When they study, the guy says, I don't have any church I belong to. You know, no pastor can pastor me. Oh, really? He said, yes. I said, you know the rhema. When this pastor is preaching, that pastor, I went to his church. When he's talking like this, you know, his revelation are stale. You know, he doesn't know. That's not how he should have narrated. That's how he should have interpreted this scripture. Wow. So I told her, I said, listen, you're already on a dangerous path. She said, no, ma, no. Some people, when they come for counseling, they are the counselor. No, ma, no, you don't understand. You see, counselors don't understand at that point. Never. He said, ma, you don't understand. This guy is caring. Okay. See, when a man knows too much, there's nothing you want to teach him. He comes with I too know. What else does he want to know? And let me tell you something. People who don't have the posture of becoming a student, because you must be a student in marriage, there do you part. If not, you can never have understanding of each other. You can never understand more things. Because why? One person is refusing to be a student. Only one partner is a student. How will two people grow? He doesn't want to learn. I said, listen, it's not only form of sexual appearances you flee from. You flee from a man that cannot be led. Because such a man cannot lead you. The same thing with a lady, not just a man. The way of fools seem right. Every time they tell you, you don't know how to apologize. You know, this is how you should behave. You say, no, that's how you are, that's how you are. That is why you have chased so many suitors your way, because nobody can suit you. Pastor, you're taking my time. It's just your Valentine package. Wisdom is a Valentine gift. So, that's the truth. Anybody that comes to me to that, babe, you need to change from it. No, that's how I am. Really. And that's why you will not be able to grow. The same thing with marriage. Your spouse is always correcting you. Always. You're still making the same mistake. Over time, you lose attraction. Because, listen, it is not okay to be beautiful alone. When you are very beautiful and you're not teachable, you are not attractive. When you are handsome and you are not teachable, you are not attractive. Because teachability in itself is very attractive. Very attractive. That was one of the things that drew me to my husband. I remember the first year when in a relationship, and then he invited me for a conference in the city. I traveled down. And that day he was speaking, people were clapping or more. That's why you need to be teachable. People can clap at your revelation. They will never be bold enough to correct you. It's only your spouse that can do that for you. Or the person you are in. That's why you must be open. Because people can hail. You have many hailers. And if you're someone that likes to be hailed, you don't like criticism, you will not grow. Because constructive criticisms will make you grow. My husband, people were hailing, were just people were hailing. Oh, wow, what, pastor, what? Really was giving the word, but was giving the word in a very bad grammar. Where they're supposed to be easy, we put was, he, she. I say, I say, me seeing this my husband as loud. That's not enough. There's also a need for grammar upgrades. So he will be teaching. I was writing. My husband said when he was on the altar on mic, he was like, wow. He was thinking I was writing down revelations, the things he was dishing out. I was taking note of the errors, the grammatical error. As if I knew it would be the winlos someday. So, when he finished, we got to his office. I was about to go back to my city. How was I? I said, wow, you blessed me, but. I said, see, we need to take note of this, that. I said, sweet, there's this better grammar my dad gave me, then do you mind, it will help and all of that. My husband was open. He wasn't intimidated. Let me tell you, the reason why you have refused to grow, you are intimidated with corrections people put at your face is because you have not told yourself the truth. You have not accepted the truth about your errors. The truth you have accepted can never intimidate you.